Hello guys, it's Mungai Eve. Welcome to the Mungai Eve Show. And of course, you're the #1 online TV show. And guys, today I'm having Mwalimu Rachael for the very first time. Yani, imagine nilimtext tu akaniambia, why not? Wacha tufanye hii kitu. I know most of you guys mkisikia Mwalimu Rachael, what comes in your mind is our boys pale Sailors Gang. Na leo tuko hapa. Yani ile udaku yote mnatakanga kusikia, tutaisikia from the horse's mouth. Anyway, Mwalimu, ukoaje?
Niko poa sana Eve. Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for honoring my request.
Asante sana.
Talk to me. Uko ready? Mwalimu ako zile za niulize.
I'm seeing you as, another media personality like I am. So I'm very comfortable to have this conversation with you. And I like the way that you even reached out and told me, you know what, Mwalimu, kuja tuongee. And you approach ni fiti. So ndo maana nikasema, why not? Tukuje tuongee.
Anyway, most of us would like to know about sailors. But before we get there, I would like to know, Mwalimu, ilikuwaje hadi ukaamua? We know you as a media personality. Where did you get this passion of managing artists? Ukaamua to go to that direction?
So it started through my company, MRX Media Limited. We, just before COVID, we had youth forums where we would gather young people and get mentors to come and speak to them kwa ground. So tuna get mentors when you're talking about turning your social media into a career, kama ni mambo ya mental health awareness, kama ni stories, relationships na vitu kama hizo. In the process, we also use that forum to showcase talanta ya wase. So it's like entertainment is by the youth who are there themselves. So when we started doing that, young people would come approach me and say, Mwalimu, niko na song, niko na skit, niko na rap, whatever. I want to come and showcase my talent. So I said, okay, let's open it up. Wacha watu wakuje wa perform. In the process, Shalkido akani approach.
Which year was that, if you can remember?
This was must have been in 2019 or 2020. 2019 if I'm not wrong. Aya, tukasema sawa, we have the next, we call it MRX sessions. So we have the next sessions coming up, but I also must audition the performers. Kwa sababu sijui ni nini pia utaenda kuperform hapa. Siwezi tu patia mtu chance wenda tu perform. Wacha tuku have auditions, tukaenda paka pale ni The Alchemist, tukaomba space, wase wanakuja, wana perform, nasema hiyo iko fiti. Sawa? So he came and he performed. And on the day, in fact, he came with the Lexi Young. As a surprise, Lexi Young nikamwona tena amekuja na Shalkido. So asa huyu nani, akasema huyu ni best yangu, tunafanya rap na yeye, iko sawa, usijali, hakuna matusi, what not. Nikasema sawa, ina wasiwasi. So akaperform na Lexi Young. Ikakuwa fiti, event ikagopoa and everything. So afterwards now, like some days after that event, Shalkido reached out and said, you know what, Mwalimu, thanks a lot maze, hata ile video yenye tuleka online sasa, through your platform ili get traction. Hata Gabu wa P-Unit aliona Shalkido akasema kijana kuna talanta, mpatie address yangu ya studio, mwambie akam to record. At that time, he used to have a recording studio. So it's like he wanted to like work with him as an artist. So Shalkido akakam, nikamit na yeye, nikamwambia nikupeleke kwa hii studio ya Gabu, uangalie nini naweza come out of it. Nikampatia mpaka fare, make sure amefika fiti, nikampigia Gabu simu, nikamwambia haya, huyu ndo msanii, wewe angalieni vile mnaweza fanya kazi na yeye. But with time, I think, kwenda na kurudi, Shalkido akafeel a bit frustrated. Zile za, I'm not getting what I want from this producer that I'm working with. So, mi naonaje Mwalimu, wewe manage hii group yenye niko nayo. So that's when nikamuza uko ndani ya group. I didn't even know you in a group. Akasema, tuko na hii group inaitwa Sailors. We are a bunch of 5 guys. Tushafanya song yetu inaitwa Wamlambez. In fact, video ndio hii, nataka uisikie audio, alafu nikiona kutumia video. Akanitumia the song. Nikaisikia, ilikuwa vibes. Tumetu kwa WhatsApp. Nikasema, song ni vibes. Nikaipeleka radio station. That time, and I'm still at Energy Radio. nilikuwa na DJ wangu kila Friday tulikuwa tunacheza muziki, Kenyan music, and that's how now we play this song and we ask guys, mnaonaje, is it a hit or a miss, right? I was for the song. But then DJ akasema hiyo song I don't think so, hata the production is not the best. Akasema sawa, I get it, but vibe iko ama haiko, sikia vibe mtu wangu, sikia vibe. Akasema sawa. So now we put it on a poll and guys voted, and overwhelmingly wase walisupport hiyo song. Nikajua hapa kuna kitu. So like the next day Shalkido akanitumia video, akaniambia mwalimu, ndio hiyo video mazee, sisi hatuna channel ya kuiweka, hata tujui mambo ya kufungua YouTube na nini, tuweke kwa channel yako, because by then I already had my YouTube channel. Nikasema okay sawa, acha tuweke tuone vile itaenda.
So you put on your own YouTube channel?
Own YouTube channel, Mwalimu Rachael TV. Nikaiweka, boom, ikago viral. And now because of also the networks that I had, I put out this Wamlambe's challenge. Nikaanza kupata feedback from wase wa kampo, wakiimba, wakishout ile Wamlambez, Wamnyonyez. Kidogo wase wenye wako majuu, you know, famous actors, Jamie Foxx, Christina Aguilera, all these guys were like saying the same chant. People now just sending me, taking footage without even me asking and sending it to me, telling me, Wamlambezi imefika mpaka Stato, Australia, wherever. And I saw, wow, this is great. Haya. Kidogo, wakatuambia, sailors wakaniambia, you know what, we want you to actually manage us. Wenyewe. And I was like, okay guys, please mwelewe kitu moja, sijai kuwa manager, sijui what it entails. What I can do though, I can ask around, I can learn, because that's the kind of person that I am. Anything I don't know, nitafanya, but wacha kwanza nipate the information on how to do it and the knowledge. So that's when I sat down with the DNA. Kakachina DNA, nikamwambia kuna wase wanataka ni wa manage. I don't know the first thing when it comes to music distribution. I don't know the first thing when it comes to managing a group. What should I do? He was very gracious with the information that he gave me. Akaniambia story ya DistroKid, and this is how you just a click of a button, ngoma zinaenda kwa hizi streaming sites. Akanielezea stories za branding, stories za kumanage wasanii, and kajua sawa, at least nimepata information naweza tumia. And that's where the relationship started. So now I brought in a team, because it was MRX Media as my company managing them. I was the face at that time, going to them for interviews. Ninakumbuka Willis Raburu again, mse wa kwanza kabisa kuwapatia chance pale 10/10. Nikawapeleka, nikawa-introduce. Because again, it's my networks ambazo ziliwa propel into the limelight. Kama ni ma radio interviews, napigia mabeshte zangu in the media industry, in the radio, TV world. I'm like, hey, host our vijana, hii ndo ngoma yao. From my email address nilikuwa natuma ngoma zao kwa ma DJs wote. Nilikuwa nimeget list ya catalog sasa. Emails are all the major DJs. And that's how now the distribution started. And yeah, that's where it all began.
Okay, so guys, mlianza tu, you didn't mlianza tu kijua kali. There was not like any agreement or anything. When did it, ilifika wapi sasa hadi mkakuwa sasa mko na agreement, ama you guys continue to work like that?
So the agreement when it came to mambo ya management and even management fees came about when we started getting into the streaming sites kama kina Skiza na nini, because there now it's a matter of percentages, you know. Different platforms nasema, okay, yes, we will help in putting your music on our streaming site. There's this percentage that the company keeps. There's this percentage that the artist gets to keep. But the manager is the one who is solely responsible for signing on behalf of the entire group. It's either you appoint one person ama the representative can be the manager. So I sat down with the guys and said, are you comfortable if I sign for you guys ama nyinyi mnataka kuchoose? Wakasema, since ni wewe unajua hizi story and you know, you've already understood the process, sign on our behalf. So when the contract would come, yes, they would sign that they are in agreement, but for instance, the collection of where the money would go to the account that I had already set up, a bank account that I had set up. That's where the money would go to. And from there now, ndo nilikuwa naanza kuwa distributia, because remember there are 5. So kila breakdown, it was clear, this is how much has been made, this is how much huyu amepata, this is what is left moving forward. So with that, there was that mutual agreement. But sasa makosa yangu ni hakukuwa na ile binding contract. I came now to, it was more of a verbal agreement. Later, much later, when now I brought up I suggested that, okay, let's get into a proper contract. And even my lawyer was there and akadraft na hata alikuwa present in case wanataka kuuliza maswali, walidinda wakasema hawataki kusign. So nikamwambia okay, but you do understand, because now pali tulianzia, unajua hivi ukianza mahali ndio ulianza kijua kali, unaenda ukigrow ukijua how to do it properly. And if you want to become professional at something, you will have to change how you used to do things before, isn't it? So now I was telling them we need to get into this more binding contract, more professional contract, so that even your rights can be protected, my rights as a manager can be protected, and my company's rights can also be protected. Hapo ndo nilijua ni kama tuoni eye to eye, wakakata kusign, and that's when nikasikia tena wameenda wakasign na the record company that they signed with. Yeah.
Okay, so all along umekubali kusign na vijana. Where is the money coming from? Because definitely ile ngoma yao moja haizi kwa ilikuwa imeleta do.
Exactly. That was my personal finances, Eve. Ndio walikuwa wameshoot video, but they walikuwa wamejitolea, and that's the other thing kwa nini niliwapenda. The fact that waliingia studio wakarekodi hiyo song, the fact that walienda na wakashoot video, ndio inaka si expensive, but they did something. Walikuwa wamejituma, Eve, na hiyo ndo the first thing that niliona ndani yao na nikawapenda. So from then on, ile mapenzi yangu ikasema, if they can do that with their little resources, Eve, what more can I do with more resources that I have? So whether it was my savings, you know, kamshara kakiingia na set aside, tunaenda kuongelesha director, tuna make arrangements for the audio to be done in a proper studio, na make sure kuna wardrobe, kama ni makeup, models wazuri, you know, kurembesha hiyo vida. That was my personal finances from, again, my company. And that's how tukaanza at least tukaanza kuoga tuseme, hata kuwafanya kurebrand in terms of or rather, in fact, it wasn't even to rebrand, it was branding them from ground zero. Kama ni kwenda kinyozi wakaifiti, kama ni kukala nywele zao kuwapeleka salon, nguo kumekisha, hata the logo ni mimi nilimekisha from scratch, because they had the name, yes, but they didn't have a logo. So I sat down with someone and he created a logo, and we said this will now be your logo. So even merchandise zao, t-shirts zilikuwa na hiyo logo, to make sure that they are uniform. Unajua ile mkiingia place mnaka professional, because I'm a professional myself and I knew the importance of vijana pia wakika unit moja, wakiingia place, wakiingia show, wakiingia stage, wanaka fiti, wanaka branded, even clients will take them seriously. So yeah, it was my personal finances.
Okay, so mka push. I would like to know, before maybe vitu zianza kuenda south, how was your relationship with them in the beginning? And when did it start changing?
Relationship ilikuwa poa sana. They were eager to learn, they were eager to listen to what I had to tell them. They were also excited. Unajua, no vijana wako na energy poa sana. So even when we were trying to figure things out, unajua, like I said, tukianzia ilikuwa jua kali, na tujui nini tunafanya, but we would figure it out. Nakumbuka that time nilikuwa na kagari kangu Toyota Nex, na kama ni kwenda shows ni wote bundle up huko ndani ya gari. Imagine watu 5 alafu plus mimi dere. So sometimes watu wanabebana huko nyuma, lakini windows ziko tinted Eve. Nasema guys, msijali, siku moja man, dream yangu ni tutanunua van yenye sasa kila mtu atakuwa comfortable, kila mtu atakuwa fiti, tutakuwa tunaenda kwa hizi gigs, itakuwa sawa. But for now, ingeni tu hapa kwa hii gari nitawa drive. Personally, naingia akina kama ni nakumbuka Masilva ka last born ndo kalikuwa kanapenda kukaa hapa mbele, alafu sasa uko nyuma utaona kama ni Lexi yangu wamebebana na Kokos Juma. They were really easy guys, like let's just get the job done at the end of the day, you know. So yeah, those are the things we used to do. Kama ni kula pamoja, kuomba pamoja kabla show, kabla studio, you know, get ideas running. Kama msee ako na idea ngoma na tuambie, tuna discuss vitu kama hizo.
Okay, what about the now they came with one song and of course you guys had to do other songs. Iliendeleaje pia to monitor the kind of songs they are releasing, because unajua pia ilikuwa hizo enzi za gengeton kidogo.
Yes. Exactly. Like the kind of lyrics, like I remember I had to now, again, because of the information I had within the music industry, nilikuwa najua, yes, gengeton inakuwa bashed a lot. The lyrics were also being looked at and scrutinized and everything. I had to correct some lyrics in their songs and to tell them, hey, itachoma. Zile za, hey, itachoma. Like for instance, the song Queen Bee Machine, and this is information nobody else has, Eve. This is an exclusive to you. Yeah? The song Queen Bee Machine, the initial lyric was supposed to be teenage machine. Teenage. When you kama hiyo ingechoma? You're talking about teenagers? These are explicit lyrics, talking about sex and all that. I said, no, you can't. And I remember they fought me on this, mwalimu weni mtiaji, hapana. Teenage machine, usikina sound poa. Ambe, hapana guys. We have to get another word. We have to replace it. No. Think about it. Let's think, let's sleep on it and reconsider. Na baadaye walikuwa shaenda kwa studio, walikuwa sha record hiyo song. Nikaambia hapana guys, hii itachoma. So now, after brainstorming, tukakaa chini, tukasema, okay, Queen Bee Machine. Kasema, yeah, that sounds more mature. That sounds sawa. That one can have even those racy lyrics, lakini haitachoma. Amuongee kuhusu wasichana wadogo, underage, unaona. Sawa. So that's how it came to be. So behind the scenes, there were many things that nilikuwa naenda na correct last minute, ndo isiende ikawachomea kama brand, na hata mi pia as my company and the management isituchomee. You know, it's a relationship at the end of the day. Anything they do is a reflection on me also, because I was being tagged anytime their song comes out and maybe the lyrics are a bit chafu explicit, watu wanaitaga, and you are a whole mother, sijui unajua hizi vitu ukiwa female, and you're all female, why would you? And I was just like, give it time. The first thing I wanted to do, Eve, was to let them express themselves. Let them be who they are, except your part ya kuchoma sana na control kiasi. But the plan was with time to let them mature in their music, in their writing. Ndio sasa wakuwe na better lyrics that ata unaweza sema okay, sawa, inaweza kuwa ni explicit but iko na mafumbo, because hata ukiangalia ngoma za bongo hizo zinakuanga explicit, my friend, very explicit lyrics, but mafumbo wametumia, imeweza kuficha kiasi. Yeah.
Okay. So you really tried to control what they are putting out there. So how was it when ulianza kuona the music genre is being fought so much? Did it affect them in any way, or did you sit them down and told them, you know what, this is what you're going to do?
Yeah, I remember when the conversation of clean content started, even with Ezekiel Mutua, and we even had a phone conversation. I called him up so that we can have dialogue, and he explained to me that, you know what, vijana ni wazuri, wako na ninio energy nzuri, but you must check on what it is that they're putting out there in terms of the lyrics and everything. So I went back, I sat down with them, Sailors, nikamwambia nakumbuka hata tulikuwa kwa studio ya Magic's Enga. Walikuwa sha record song ingine, I can't even remember which song that was. But midway wakinichezea nikasema hebu just pause kidogo. And I was like, guys, you know, I want to put a challenge to you. Hizi songs zote tumetoa so far, that time I think tulikuwa tumetoa songs 3-4. Kaambia hatujawahi imba kitu ya kushukuru Mungu ama kuangalia pali tumetoka. And for sure success imekuja to you guys very fast. I think it's only good to show your maturity levels even in your writing, that you can sing about something else other than the club, that you can rap about something other than mambo ya madem na ninio kukunywa na the party scene. So I'm going to pose a challenge to you. Think about it. Nakumbuka hiyo time ilikuwa jioni, so nilikuwa nimepitia studio, alafu nikamwambia nyinyi wacheni niwaache nyinyi muendelee, mimi naishia home. Let me know what you come up with the next day. So wakani call up the next day. Wakamba mode imeiva, come studio. Nikaenda kuingia studio, nachezewa song ni gani? Jason Mwadhani. Nakasema brilliant. Now you're seeing what I'm trying to say, that you can still use genge tone and all that energy you have towards something different. I knew obviously seti wame convert wakakuwa gospel artists, because sasa hiyo tulikuwa tumepata again backlash. Oh, mnajifanya sasa nyinyi gospel artists, kwa nini mmetoa hii song? Achaneni na Mungu. Nikasema katika maisha ya vijana, nyinyi niambieni kama wajaona Mungu. Kutoka kuishi Ndenderu wamefika Nairobi, wanafanya ngoma zinachezwa kwa TV, ngoma zimeenda majuu, wanalipwa for their talent. Huyo si ni Mungu? Wacheni washukuru Mungu in their own way, unaona? And that's how the song came out. And at first I know they were like, hey, mwalimu unajua tulikuwa tumedoubt lakini tunaona imewaka. So I was like, now even moving forward, let's start looking at a different direction when it comes to the music that we put out there. Yeah.
Okay. At any point, managing 5 people is ni kazi. I would like to know, did you ever have those down moments whereby you feel like I need to do this, but I cannot tell them mambo haiendi fiti, but wacha nita figure out what I'm gonna do?
Absolutely. It was quite expensive. I remember at some point nilikuwa nakaa chini na timu yangu nasema sasa tunatoa do wapi? We always used to rent gari. First of all, by the time you get a 6-seater van.
So it reached a point mkaanza sasa kuhaya.
Ilifika hiyo point sasa ni kuhaya na ni kwenda places mbali. Sometimes unasikia wanaenda Meru, mara wanaenda at least walipanda ndege wakienda, walikuwa wameenda ni Turkana ama ni wapi mahali, unajua. And I think that was their first flight, and I remember they were so excited. I wasn't there with them. I always used to have a logistics manager, road manager be with them. But I was always involved in the, getting things together. So kurentisha, kupata dere, mafuta, accommodation. Wanaenda kwa maroom huko, kama ni kuwa excited ama nini, vitu zinavunjika, ma TV. Yani Eve. Nilikuwa napigwa simu na road manager anamwambia wamevunja TV. I'm like, wanavunja TV aje? So now that has to be replaced. You see, because I think you excitos na again to craziness tu yao, unajua. So you have to pay for the damages. That was a heavy load, and at some point I was like, is it also getting to become too much, So now it's sitting them down and advising them, no guys, you can't do this. It's ruining even the reputation of the group. You have to stand out to be different than other groups that tunasikia huko, mara wanapigana, mara wanafanya nini. We have to be different. We have to set the pace. So yeah, hiyo challenge ilikuwa, mostly it was on the financial side, because on a relationship standpoint, ile tu ilikuwa inani boss, saa zingine ni unapigia simu hawashiki ama simu ziko off, na labda mmepanga the next day asubuhi ndo wanaenda gig, unaona. So derea kwa hapo amewangojea, no one is coming out of the house, wako wapi, wengine hata wako club hawajafika kwa nyumba. So that communication was also a challenge for me. Yeah.
I'd like to know, is it that maybe you really worked on the branding so that pia ileteka kitu ama ilikuwaje? Because I know how branding is. I know maybe how much money one can make, but you were able to get maybe finances also from the gigs. Yani hawa watu ili waende wa perform gig fulani watu 5 na wapate pesa wanagawana watu 5. It means maybe you really worked on the brand.
Yeah, I did, and it was a team effort. It's sitting down with them and telling them, listen, kwa sasa kuna ile kiwango ya pesa ambayo tunaweza tumia. Alafu mishahara, it was like watu wanalipwa mishahara. Unajua gig, unajua club gig for instance, the most I think tuliwahi pata from a club, si hizi concert, ini club ikienda sana I think 70 Gs. 70 Gs. Na hiyo imeenda sana. Because if it's a concert, it's from now 80, 100 kuendelea. Na ikienda sana, let's say 150. And you still have 5 people to distribute that money. And you still have expenses and the team. And the entire team. And of course, management fees as well. So it was a thing of what do we need now? And focus on the money going here where it is needed to build the brand. Like for instance, we would not compromise on studio sound. Like hiyo saa hata producer akisema anataka kulipwa 70,000, 60,000, unasema we sawa, because hiyo ndo inajenga mziki yao. Unaona? But we would probably have to compromise on how much you guys want to spend in a night after the gig. Unaona? Yes, most clubs would also provide. So I'd make sure hata wakienda mahali kama ni club, food, drinks sorted from the club. So hiyo inatulimit, inatupunguzia hizo expenses. Kama hakuna accommodation, because many clubs will tell you, hatuwezani na accommodation, tunaweza wapatia food na drinks. Then that means ni kwenda kufanya gig na kurudi. Unaona? So pia walikuwa nachoka najua, because ni hiyo van moja na ni kuingia tena na kurudi. It was a sacrifice they made, and I also made on my part in terms of making sure everybody is sorted. And that's why I said it was a collaborative effort. Yeah.
Okay. So, history ni tamu na ni mrefu. Yeah. So when did things start going south? Kaanza kukuwa na issue until now we see Mwalimu amekuwa mara ameiba 15 million, amekula 15 million. I'd like to know, when did things start going south?
So, with fame and also having people in your ear, it's very dangerous. And that's why it was very important for me to even move them from number 1, mtaa yenye walikuwa. Sababu Ndenderu ni kama ni ghetto ya ushago. Let me just say it like that, okay? Ni ghetto ya ushago. So pia ile exposure ya tao ni muhimu waelewe how the business of music works. Waelewe why it's important for you to keep time when you're being called for an interview. Waelewe importance ya kukladifiti ukienda kwa meetings na clients. So I moved them. So that meant hiyo ni expense ingine ya story ya kuget keja, ku make sure exactly kufurnish na nini na nini. Na ndio kuna vitu zingine walikuwa wanajifanyia from pocket, but the initial ile ya kutafuta hizi manyumba, kuwapatia ile shopping ya kwanza ya kununua magodoro, vitanda, nilienda na wao personally, na tukage masufuria manini. Yani mimi nilikuwa yule mama na make sure nyumba at least iko na meko nini, at least mnaweza kula, mnaweza ishi fiti. Now ubaya ni eti watu wenye bado walikuwa wanawaongelesha kwa masikio from mtaani, mabeshte zao tuseme. And wao ndo walikuwa wanaangalia tuseme views pale YouTube. Sasa hiyo wa Mlambezi ilikuwa imehit 5 million views. Wanaambia nyinyi mnajua hiyo ni 5 million Kenya shillings. Mmewahi shika mita, kila mtu hapa anafaa kuwa na mita. Si mko 5. Si ni 5 million. Hapa ni kila mtu mita. Kila mtu baina anafaa kuwa anaendesha gari. Nikakaa chini hivi nikasema, you know what?
So they ask you.
Yes, so they can't sema mode hii do. Sasa hii kila mtu anafaa kuwa na mita bana. Sababu hii 5 million hii do inaenda wapi? Nikamwambia, my guys, okay, you know what? Mimi naweza waambia mfikire na wadanganya, I'm going to set up a meeting with Clemo because the channel was under Ngoma. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa naangalia mambo ya copyright issues, to oversee the affairs of the channel. So nikasema I'm going to set up a meeting na Clemo awaeleze, because one thing I guarantee you, one view is not equals to 1 Kenya shillings. So 5 million views is not equals to 5 million Kenya shillings. Grateful. Nikasema sawa. We set up the date. Aya, nikaambiwa say kesho, I think it was in the morning at around 9 or 10. Please make sure mkuje. This is the location. In fact, the driver will come and pick you guys up. Awalete. Siku ikafika. Simu ziko off, Eve. Nobody showed up. Nobody came. Nobody said they're not going to make it at absent with apology. Nothing. Unafikiria ati naweza ita Clemo tena akae chini na wao ati nimpate siku ingine Eve? Hiyo chance ikaenda hivyo. And I had to apologize and just say, it's a job. I'm sorry Clemo, these guys just show up. Kasema hapo iko kazi lakini all the best. So now wanaendelea na hiyo perception ndani ya akili zao, na bado watu wanawaambia pale online, mabeshte, nyinyi wase mnafaa kwa mshaomoka by now. Remember, it's probably ilikuwa year 1 of them being known as sailors. You and everybody else who knows the Kenyan music industry well, by the time you're even known within 2 years, hiyo inakuanga ni miracle. So they were expecting that by then wawe washa drive, wawe wako na manyumba, by the way hivyo ndio naambiwa, wana makeja yani wamejenga and rich. I was like, it doesn't work like that. So that's when the drift started happening. Because I could tell naongelesha kuna wengine wanaona hawasikizi. Unaona, we set up a meeting, they don't show up. I'm like, now you're not only disrespecting me, you're disrespecting the clients that are supposed to engage you for an activation, a gig, and you're not showing up. And yet you want them to pay you? How now? Shida sasa ikakuja worse time ya COVID. Corona hit, and of course, sasa, we really had to manage the money very, very well. Uzuri ni, ndio gigs zilikuwa zinakuja before COVID. So we had been saving up to buy a van. Remember that promise that I gave them earlier? And I was very, very, very serious. Nilikuwa nishafanya shopping, window shopping, nishaulizia, ni Alphard tutapata, sijui ni gani, nikuangalia different options yenye sasa watakuwa comfortable. So there was an amount of money set aside to buy this van. But when Corona hit, the taps went dry. No gigs, no activations, no nothing. We had now to survive. And I told them, guys, with your permission, ile savings tukwa tumeka to the side ya kununua hii van, hiyo ndio itatu sustain. Because at the moment, hakuna do. So for 6 months, hapo ndo pesa ilikuwa natoka.
What is
no, 20? That was now in 2020, 2021. Corona ili hit lini? Ni 21?
20 March.
No.
Ni 2020 March. Yes, March 2020. Okay? So from 2020 sasa March, mpaka the end of the year. Exactly. That whole time, ni ile kidogo na watu mimi kaini ndani ya hao, lockdown ndo hiyo. Wacheneni na story ya kuspend do kwa madem, kwa pombe, nini sasa ni chakula na basic needs, rent na food. Kuna wale walisikia, kuna wale wako wananisikia na wana online, wanaenda live, ni mabashi ndani ya nyumba. I'm just like, whoa, vijana wangu jamini. Haya, what to do? The above 18, so they can do what they want. I can only try and direct and just manage a small nini here and there. So wakaanza kusema ni aje atupati zile do tuko tunapata, you're not giving us our stipend, you're not ugarami mambo ya sijui kubai nini na nini. Kambido mnataka itoke wapi? I'm also doing the best that I can. Pia niko na familia yangu, niko na bills zangu za kulipa. So we're all trying to just handle what we can. just before COVID, and this is where now the drift now happened, or the breakaway. This record company had reached out to us. This is while they were still popping, right? Corona ilikuwa ija hit, things were good. So this record label called me and my then member of the team akatukalisha chini, akatuambia, so tumekuwa tukiona hiyo kazi mnafanya na Sailors, tunapenda, want to come in as the record company, nyinyi muendelee kuwa manage, sisi tunataka kudistribute muziki yao, we'll get of course a percentage of the royalties na vitu kama hizo. Tukamwambia haya, let's see the contract, let's see how it looks like, because anyway it was now getting, you remember what I was saying, we now wanted to do things professionally. So I was dealing with a lot, trying to deal with distribution of music, at the same time management, booking, interviews. It was too much, and my team was small also at that time. We could not manage all of that. So nikawaambia, leteni hiyo contract tuiangalie. Tukaangalia some clauses ndani ya hiyo contract, if tukasema hapana. Say tukikubalizi terms zao, Sailors watakuwa at a disadvantage, so we can't agree. We even highlighted their emails to show this clause, we're not happy with this one needs to change and say this, because we are learned, and also we had asked other people in the industry how it works, so we had knowledge on these things. Kuona hawa watu ni wajanjes, ndo sasa when Corona hit, so they went quiet, and then when Corona hit, wakaenda behind our backs. Wakaongelesha nani? Peter. Wakamwambia Peter, hebu kuja tukwambie, ati ampewi do, ati nini, grievances, anaomba grievances, tupewi do, atulipiwi hii, atulipiwa. Kamba usijali, sisi tutakulipia rent nyinyi wote, tutapatia stipend kila mwezi, tutafanyia shopping, nyinyi tu tunataka muingie mufanye muziki. And within no time mtakuwa mna drive, wamepaintiwa very lovely picture. Jamaa kusikia hivyo, mimi nasikia alienda akasign on behalf of the entire group, without alerting me, without telling me, though we had already told Sailors there are some people who are interested in you guys to come in as the record label, but we are having some concerns about clauses fulani kwa hii contract. Tukiona iko fiti, sasa ndo tutawaita nyinyi nyote kwa meza, tuiangalie pamoja, tuone kama mko sawa na hizi terms. Hawa ndo watu watakuwa responsible kwa mambo ya distribution ya muziki, lakini sisi bado tuna stay on as your managers. So akasema sawa, nyinyi dilini na hiyo paperwork na nini, when and if tukikubaliana, we'll all come to a round table. But you see that never happened. They went behind the backs, they went, spoke to Peter, kaenda, kasign. Haya, na hivyo ndo nikakuja napigiwa simu sasa na record company. Hawa jamaa wananiambia, now Mwalimu, tunataka logins. Ambia, ati nini? Tunataka logins ya hiyo YouTube channel, kwa sababu ngoma za Sailors ziko hapo na sisi ndo sasa tunawa manage, na sisi ndo pia record label yao. Nikamwambia wacheni niwaambie kitu moja. Number one, that's not going to happen, because this is a company asset. Number two, if you want this channel so badly, pay for it, because that's how business works. If I'm going to come to your house and say I want your house, mimi nitoke tu nikuachie nyumba? Ile kazi yote nimeka hapo, time yote networks ambazo pull together to make sure this house is this beautiful, ndo maana hata imekuleta ndani ya nyumba. Nikuachie tu nitoke? Aje Eve? Pesa yenye mimi nimetumia aje? Energy yangu hapana. So that's why I said, you know what, record label, you owe me 1.5. If you want this channel, buy it for 1.5. This record label goes out there and starts a lie. Na kwa backed up na Sailors. It's so unfortunate that they did this. Wanapewa support na Sailors, ati mimi nimesema Sailors wanilipe 1.5. Mimi nilisema record label wanilipe 1.5 if they want this channel. And even that was underquoting, because I wanted to see how serious are you. Tufungue tu conversation. How serious are you in saying that you want to take over from where I have stopped? Show me how serious you are. wase wana negotiate wasema hapana sisi tuko na 100k. Nikamwambia nyinyi hata mko serious na nyinyi bado mna promise vijana eti mtawapatia pesa kila mwezi mwalipie rent mwapatie sijui nini. You guys are not serious. So that's why I said no, I'm not releasing that channel. So now the rumor ikaanza, wakalipa my influencers Eve kunichomea jina, dragging my name through the mud, saying how I demand this money from these poor boys, they don't even have money, how could you do that? Wanasema venye nimekuwa nikikula pesa zao ati wameonyeshwa records. Sasa mpaka sellers wanasema ati wameonyeshwa records. I don't know where they were able to get these records from these streaming sites. Ati this is the amount of money that they've been sending, and it amounts to 15 million. And this is where the 15 million comes in. And I've been eating 15 million per month from streaming sites. Per month. Per month. We niambie. Sasa hata ukisikia hivyo, unajua. And if you've noticed, rarely was I coming out to retaliate. Because I said some things, sitajibishana na watu ambao hawaelewi hata vile mziki ina operate. Wewe umewahi shika 15 million kutoka kwa channel yako per month. I
think ndio yote nimemake probably since
right? And that's been how many years?
2 now.
2 years now. Haya. Hao wanafikiria hiyo per month. Kasema sailors tuache uongo pia. They were being used badly and they were allowing, and that's the other thing. You don't, hata kama umekosana na mtu Eve na unaona unaenda to a better relationship, usiongee mbaya kuhusu mwingine pale unajua alikusaidia. Exactly. And I felt like now you're ganging up on the same person who would use her personal assets, my own car, fuel it, take you to gigs, introduce you to the who's who in the industry, take you to salons, na nikae chini na nyinyi mkitengenezwa mkekwa madae na nini mkirembeshwa nyororo, skin kwa nyororo na nini. Mimi ambaye nilienda to each one of their homes Eve. When we were starting this arrangement with sailors, I went to Ndenderu, to each of their homes Eve. Spoke to their parents face to face, told them what my intentions were, what the plan is. I personally did that. Niliacha gari na nikachukua matatu tukaenda na wao. Kila mtu na niwaoneshe mbali. Hapo. A whole day gone. Why would I then come and sabotage or, kill something that I helped to build? Why would I do that? But you decide to go and gang up on me and then spread all these lies. And then, sile mmeenda kunitusi huko online, ndo mnanipigia masimu, jioni kuniambia Aiza jo modo unajua pole atupo na ubaya. I'm like, the same way you have disrespected with the same loudness venye mlikuwa loud mkinitusi pale online na kugetwa se kunichukia. The same channel should be used if you want to apologize to me. And Eve, let me also say this. I'm not here sitting down and waiting for an apology. I'm not going to demand an apology from them. Nilienda down on my knees ni Eve. Na nikaomba Mungu wangu. Na nikasema Mungu, you know where my heart is. You know why I started and why I wanted to help these boys. Cheza kama wewe. Mimi, I'm not going to fight this battle because I will lose. Anywhere where you're more successful, you will lose. You will obviously look like the manipulator. You will obviously look like the one who took advantage. You will obviously look like wewe ndo kona do, kwa hivyo wale maskini ni hao ndo wako innocent, wewe uko guilty just for the fact that wewe uko in a better position kimaisha. Am I going to start apologizing and living a different life than the one I had been living even before sailors came into my life? No. I'll continue being me. I'll continue helping other aspiring artists. I'll continue having these outreach programs for young people as I have been doing. I'll still continue going and mentoring. I'll still do me because roho yangu Eve, hapo ndo mali iko. And that is, kila mtu akona divine purpose yake kwa nini aliletwa kwa ulimwengu. And once you discover what your divine purpose is, any obstacle that comes your way, you take it, you rework it, and you just keep moving. You understand me? So even for you and anybody else who's watching, wanapitia changamoto zao tofauti. That's how you know you are on the right path. because that is path yote ambayo unapata vikwazo. It shows you that there's something good waiting for you on the other side, and you have to keep pursuing it, be persistent, pray, put in the hard work, continue. So if you were to even ask me, do you see yourself managing anybody else after this?
I asked you that off camera and I was surprised. You said yes.
Yes, Eve, yes. Because I know the kind of person that I am. I know the hard work I put in. I know what I've been able to achieve before. And I know that failure doesn't mean you stop. It just shows you this didn't work. Now you know better. My mistake of not having a contract with them from the very beginning, now I know better. How I used to also grant them access. Walikuwa nakuja mpaka kwa nyumba yangu.
The point you said that you feel like ulikuwa umewaleta close.
Sana. That access is very dangerous because mazoeano. Alafu pia, when things start going south, unaanza kusikia ati mtu anakupea death threats. Mimi nilipokea death threats kwa DMs zangu on me and my son.
From them or from other people?
From people I don't know, accounts I don't know, so you don't know ni wao si wao, mi sijui. But people telling me they know where I live, they know where my son goes to school, they know all these things, Eve. Nilienda down on my knees na nikaomba. Na nikasema Mungu wewe ndo unajua kwa nini niko kwa hii situation. So I will not hit back. And again, if you look at even the hate and everything that was coming, everything I've ever said is I wish them well. I wish them well. Wanipende, wanichukie, wadanganye on my name, and many things they've said out there are lies and they know they are lies. I wish them well. Lakini mimi nimekaa nikijua Mungu wangu pia halali Eve. Na nimepitia mengi sana. I had to heal from how they stabbed me in the back. I felt very betrayed.
What hurt you most in this whole situation?
That they decided to tell lies on me and watch when other people ganged up on me. Knowing that I did nothing wrong, knowing that I showed them nothing but love. People knew I was their mother. Walikuwa nasema mama sailors. Walikuwa naita, huyu ni yule mama wa sailors. Vijana wako, where are your sons? And I used to say, my sons, they're doing well, they're good. It was nothing but love. Pure, yani ile pure. Ile hivi. Pure love. And even if people disagree, I never would have done that to them. I've never said anything negative about them. I've never gone out and stopped even playing their music on our radio station, Eve. Their music still plays. Yet I am in a position where if I wanted to, none of their songs would play. But am I that kind of person? No. Itanfaidi nini? Itanisaidia na nini? And will I be able to sleep well at night knowing that I've done that to anyone? No. Their music still plays, and hata sile wali issue copyright hii record label yao waka issue copyright strike against their videos from the channel where the content yao ilikuwa. I didn't contest it. Nikasema sawa, niteka hizi video zote zao private. Nyinyi upload kwa hiyo channel ingine. When they went to DistroKid and they told DistroKid, these songs belong to us, huyu boot her and let the fans come through to this other side. Did I contest? I did not, Eve. I said, sawa. Take your music, take the videos that even I invested in, but because mnaona ati nimewanyima haki yenu, chukueni. I personally went and wrote emails to our wase wote, kama nisikiza, kama nakina Boomplay, all these guys. And I said, guys, from today, funds ziende hapa kwa hii account ya Peter. Mimi, I'm no longer managing them. I followed protocol. Yet, you are the same people saying, I've been eating 50. In fact, when even these companies heard that, they even called me and they were laughing. They say, Mwalimu, tunasikia ati 15 million wapi. These are people within these organizations. Because they know. They can see. Wasema 15 million. Wanacheka wananiambia pole. Mwalimu pole. Because we know what you are doing for them. We saw it firsthand. Mwalimu pole. Those are the people who are keeping me going. Watu ambao wananijua, my family, close friends, my inner circle, wanashikilia mkono, wanani-encourage, wananiambia tu is a joke, lakini now you know better. And others even encouraged me and told me, don't stop, continue, don't stop.
Where we are seated right now, unfortunately, of course, you've mentioned they signed a contract with another recording company. I don't know how it went, but unfortunately most of them hawajakuwa wakifanya vizuri. And every time kulikuwa na historia ya Coco, anaitwa Coco?
Cocos Juma.
Yeah, Cocos Juma. Every time kunatokea story related to sailors, most people huwa wanakurudishia wewe. How do you feel when you see them going hawaendelei vizuri, and then this story keep coming back to you each and every time?
Yeah. At first ilikuwa inanikasirisha sana. Because mimi ni human being, maze. I hurt. Ilikuwa inaniuma. Ilikuwa inanifrustrate. Ilikuwa inanikasirisha. But then with time nikajiambia, na pia watu wenye wanajua kaniambia, imagine, Mwalimu, you know who you are. Always remember who you are. When they try and push negative things on you, remind yourself of the positives. So for me, I look at the achievements that MRX Media were able to do with them. We as MRX Media. 5 awards, international recognition, the respect from corporates, that they were like, hey, this is the most professional. Many times I'd go for these meetings. These are the most professional gengeton group. And here, hands down, uliza mtu mwingine yote. Ask anyone. They were the most professional gengeton group in the country. They were the first ones to be approached to go and perform abroad. So I remind myself of all the good, and I'm okay. And for them to do what they did, it's very disappointing, but I forgive them. I had to forgive them. The same way I also forgave myself for the mistakes I did in terms of managing and not knowing how to deal with certain legal aspects and protecting myself and the company. I forgave myself and I said, Rachel, you're only learning. You never know how to do the right thing until you do the wrong thing. Unajua, oh damn, nime mess up, so I should have done it like this. So I forgave myself. I forgave them. But I wish and I pray that siku moja watakaa chini na waangalie ile damage walifanya. You see, I need them to recognize the damage that they did to my brand. The damage that they did to my online presence. You know? I had to rebrand or rework and start from scratch to gain the trust of some associates of mine, for me to show the people that I'm not what they say that I am. Sometimes nimefika pia point, I'm like, you believe what you want to believe. But pia wengine online, always wa convince. Yani, I believe what you want to believe. I will never defend myself in the court of public opinion. Iwe vile iwe, kazi yangu itajionyesha. So I stay true to my work and my divine purpose on this planet.
Recently we saw Peter agreeing to signing into a contract that he didn't understand. And of course sasa hiyo ndo story pia ilikurudisha, ilifanya watu waanze kukukumbuka. Yes. Mwalimu. When you saw that, what came to your mind?
I was very sad for them because I was like, you see, I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. So I was sad for them, but I was also relieved that the truth is out. I've been trying for the longest time to just hold my tongue. Si rahisi pia kunyamaza wakati unapigwa mawe hivi. We imagine, unapigwa mawe hivi, lakini una hold. Unapigwa mawe, matusi, nini. Una hold, unasema Mungu, time yako ndo best. Time yako ndo best. I will hold true to that. That's all I had to hold on to. So when finally I may admit that they made the wrong move, I was like, I hope people now will see what I had also said, and I warned them. And I remember nilikuwa nimekaa kwa channel ya Jalas na nikasema, I wish you all the best, but I really think you've made the wrong move. Any time where a record company comes and gives you promises of a house, car, shopping, pesa, nini, jiulize, unalipia na nini hizo vitu? Unaona, you'd rather work from your own savings, your own money, kitu ambao unaona na una calibrate, unapanga, unajua, than kuambia utapewa tu hivyo alafu unaambia si tunataka tu mangoma. Hapana, it can't work like that. You need to understand what you're signing. You need to have a lawyer present. Don't bite off the hand that fed you once upon a time, or the hand that feeds you. So I was relieved, and my hope is that people will now see, number one, that I was not the person I was painted out to be. I hope people will see that wasanii, hata kama many times we think the underdog is always right, that is not always the case, you know. Yeah, and that I was just relieved that the truth is out.
Actually, apart from maybe Peter ndo tunaonanga na release ngoma, at least kuna online presence kubwa yake. Most of them hatujakuwa tukiwasikia and everything. Wewe ni mtu ambaye you had a close relationship with them. What do you think maybe probably happened?
You know, when you are in a unit, you're stronger together. Kila mtu by the alikuwa na value yake kwa hiyo group. Kokos Juma mwenye mnafikira zake zilikuwa tu manduru pale, yeye ndo alikuwa peacemaker. Sawa? Rastaman is a peaceful man. Alikuwa anawazungumzia, yani kama wamechoma, alafu anasema wenyewe Koko sawa tumekusikia. Lexi Young alikuwa pale na ile cool factor yake. Hata kwa hizo lyrics ni yeye ndo alikuwa the yo-yo out of the group, kurap na kizungu nini. Shalkido muimbaji mzuri sana by the way. Na vocals zake na pia uandishi tamu. Masilva ka good looking ka boy pale, anaongeza ile ka appeal. Unajua kila mtu alikuwa na role yake. By the way, Miracle Baby energy. Unanipata? Alafu pia uandishi. Perfect. Put them together, you have a marvelous group. The minute watu wanaenda njia zao hivi, now you're left exposed. Because maybe you are good at this but not good at this. There's strength in numbers. Yeah, unity is strength. So I think what happened is just that that broke apart. The fact that they broke apart iliwafanya sasa wakuwe weak, na ndio maana sasa hii hawaendelee vile wangetaka.
Okay. So maybe nikirudi nyuma kidogo, there's no point you ever told them that wewe umeacha kuwa manage. Wao wenyewe they just went behind your back, wakaenda kukua na management ingine.
Yep, kabisa. There was no point where I said I'm not managing you anymore. If anything, once they went behind my back, then I got the demands from the record label to give them the logins, sijui fanya hii, ndo nikasema clearly umepata mtu mwingine wa ku manage, and that's when the process happened. Telling the streaming sites to now send the money here, we had to put out now a statement, a public statement through my company, MRX Media Limited. And we put it out and said, we're no longer managing sailors. We wish them all the best, but we are proud of the fact that tumewaleta from being unknowns to the superstars that they were. Na tukachana in peace hivyo.
Most of the time when you have issues with a company that you've been working with, there's a possibility if you do such a thing, you get sued and everything. Why is it that you decided to end everything in a cool way, hakuna mambo ya kotini, and just wish them all the best?
It wasn't worth it. What am I suing for? What am I suing for? Ndo sasa ikuje ionekane, hata sasa ndo unawasunda upate even more money. You understand? Number one, you don't knock someone when they're down. Unajua? Hawana hizo means, hata ningesema ati tuanze kuasu ya nini, what am I getting from them? Number one. Number two, because also it was more of a verbal agreement. I knew very well, tunaenda kotini hamuna paperwork ile ya kuonesha. Ndio, there was some paperwork to show that you had entered some agreements in terms of representing them pale kwa streaming sites na nini, but was there an overall signed document to say you are handling this for them? No, there wasn't. And that's why I'm saying I'm very okay in admitting that was a mistake on my part, you see. And it's from a moral standpoint, what they did was wrong morally, but legally ni sawa. Yeah, so I was like sawa, all the best.
Okay, Malaysia, you've mentioned somewhere tukiongea mentioned about Ezekiel and you guys sitting that having a dialogue with him, akakwambia mkaongea about Gengeton music and everything. Recently we've seen Gengeton artists wamekuwa, but most of them wamenyamaza kidogo. And of course we had artists going to State House and content creators. We were there and the only artist that we saw was Peter from Gengeton. And Ezekiel says it's because Peter Ali transitioned from being a Gengeton artist to now a Mugithi artist. What are your thoughts about that?
Survival tactics. Lazima move with the tide, you know? And he's clever at doing that. Aliona hii Gengeton kuna venye kimeumana. Mambo hapo imechemka. So, what's the other strength that I have? He speaks Kikuyu very, very well. And can I still sing? Yes. So, can I still write? Yes. So, write Mugithi songs. 1 + 1 = 2. So, ni survival tactics, and I hope it's working out for him. I don't know about the others, but if it's working for him, great. Yeah, more power to him.
What about Ezekiel saying that the reason alienda pale ni juu aliachana na Gengeton music? This belief of Gengeton, mtu haizi fika mahali kama State House, unajua.
Okay, I understand where he's coming from. I respect his opinion, but if there were proper management structures, if there was a proper way to handle these Gengeton artists, and if they also agree, wasanii pia ni lazima wakubali, wakuwe led in a certain direction. Yeah, you have to agree, you have to say what I know, ni mpaka hapa, au wengine ndo watanifundisha the rest. They must agree to be led in a certain direction, and then now they become more polished. I have the utmost belief that Gengeton as a genre is still one that can do amazing stuff for our Kenyan music industry. We just need to, number one, make it better, you know, with time. Kama ni vile tunaandika mafumbo, kama ni kuingia kwa proper studios, kama ni the making of the beat, melodies, because hata ukiangalia afro beats, it's all about the melody. Unajua hiyo ni melody, hakuna maneno mingi pale. So unaona ukiangalia pose digimida ta ta ta, unaona ni melody tu. So if we can now learn 1 or 2 things, do a bit of research, tukae chini tuone Gengeton tunapenda kwa sababu ya kaka beat, kwa sababu ya kaka vibe, alafu tuweke ka melody hapa, alafu tufanye something good can come out of it, unaona, na tuandike in a cleaner way, mafumbo pale, not outright in your face. We can do something. So it's just, but it's work. Who's willing to sit down and put in the work? That's the question.
I think this has been a very nice conversation. Probably watu hawajaisikia vitu zingine watapata kuzisikia kutoka hapa, and I really appreciate. Next time sasa nakutafuta tuongee umbea. Unajua hizi. Aja hapa kuna vitu mingi. Tuelewi Bensol nini tunaona amekupost pale.
Benson? Hiyo picha tulichukua tukiwa kwa studio. Benson is a good friend of mine. Unajua pia ni Muembu by extension. So yeye alikuja tu studio pale wakati alikuwa na launch album yake, Line of Suda. Yes. Huyu hakuna maneno pale. Trust me, hakuna maneno pale. I love him though, he's a great guy. Very cool guy.
Anyway, Mwalimu, if you were to sign artists, what are the values zenye unaangalia? Of course tumekuwa tukiona wasanii wengi. Recently tumeona, I think the song that watu wanaongelelea sana sahi ni a song by this lady Ngesh. Kaveve Kazoze. That song has done so well. 1.5 million in 1 month. I believe it's quite, yani imefanya vizuri. I would like to know, what are the values unaangalia kwa msanii? What are the do's and don'ts zenye umelan?
Okay. Number 1, talanta lazima. Because that's the first thing I'll listen to. So, number 2, it is longevity of your style of music. Kuna kitu unaweza fanya sahi ikuwe ni hype, hit, lakini okay, in 5 years, in 10 years, because we know Kenyans watakuchocha. Wakenya watakuchocha. Ukilive na hype ya Wakenya, in a month or two, unajipata kwa peke yako. Unang'ang'ana na maisha peke yako. And you're there saying, oh, why don't you support me? Why don't you? So, yes, that. Another thing is, of course, when mtu pia unaweza kaa chini na reason. You don't always have to follow my way. Kuna times pia nilikuwa na idea fulani na sellers wanasema mwalimu tufanye hii. And upon sitting down and think, I'm like, okay, so let's do it your way and see how it works out. So the same way, can you sit down with me and I say, how about we try it like this? Are you willing to reason? Are you a teachable spirit? Unajua kuna watu wengine hakuna kitu naweza waambia. Wanaona ni master na wao ni master. So it's also that, you see? It's also looking at when mtu pia unaweza kuwa branded, unajua, and molded to now take off into the international standards, because uko pia different game, different set of rules to the game. So you have to be flexible, you know, not losing who you are, you know, your true nature. Never lose who you are, but be like water. You know what water does? You put it in any container, any vessel, it takes the shape of that vessel. But it's still water at the end of the day. So you're still true to who you are, but you're flexible in the way you do things that help you to become a star. A hard worker, very important. Talent is like 20%. 80% is the hard work, you know? Yeah.
Have you ever, maybe after Sailors, kuna zile talents ume identify, just that maybe us, we don't know, ama you're yet to go to that direction?
Okay, my attention has not really been on that at the moment. I'm not going to lie to you, Eve. I get very many DMs, very many emails, very many. In fact, even when hiyo kesi na Sailors ilikuwa ina happen, watu walikuwa hivi kwa DMs zangu, kwa emails zangu, mpaka nashindwa. Mimi nafikiria people now will run away. Kumbe sasa ndo wamekuja nasema, no mwalimu, we have seen the work that you did with these boys. Mimi nipatie hiyo chance, I am not going to squander it. Mimi nipatie hiyo chance, sitacheza kama wa vijana. Mimi nipatie hiyo chance, mimi nitakuwa humble, nitakusikiliza. So many, Eve. Aki, I wish I could help everyone. I wish I could have the resources to do so, but I can't. So if I'm to ever identify a talent, I will give the call out. I'll put the call out for them now to send me their content. Niangalie, nikae chini, ni wa audition, alafu sasa ndio tuanze the process.
Okay. Yeah. Where you're seated, maybe tukimalizia, what would you tell Sailors? Because right now, I don't know how they're doing, maybe apart from Peter, he's the one that we are close. What would you tell them?
What I'd say is Sailors, kwanza ni kuwashukuru kwa sababu bila wao pia singe learn so much that I was able to learn the time that I was their manager. And I appreciate the time that we had together. All the good times and even the challenges helped us to become stronger. Ningewaambia that I wish them nothing but the best, as I've always said. And I'd tell them, in fact, I wish they never stopped making music. Wangepatana tu na hiyo small resources. Go back to, remind yourselves of who you were before Mwalimu Rachael. Go back to studio, call in the favors of studio producers to make music for you. Get into an arrangement with them maybe on how you will pay slowly. Nyinyi muendele. Because one of the things people pia walikuwa nasema pale online ni, kwani hao Sailors mwalimu alienda na sauti yenu? Kwani alienda na talanta yenu? Which is true. So, do your thing, you know. If you believe in what you guys are doing, if you believe in your talents and you know that what you have is something good, let not this deter you from going back and trying it one more time. There's always the blessing of starting all over again, Eve. It's never the end of life. Sasa najua kuna wenye wanapitia the most kwa maisha yao, but wasi contemplate eti kujiua ama vitu kama hizo. Go back, regroup, restrategize, and then all the best.
Talking of giving it a chance, would you ever give them a chance?
Kuna msemo wa once bitten, twice shy. So I would not, but I would support them from the back, from a distance. Yeah.
What do you mean by supporting them from a distance?
Waende watoe ngoma, walete niwachezee, ama waseme wanataka ichezwe kwa station, ama I'm not going to kanyagia them. If they do that, well and good.
Thank you so much, Mwalimu, for honoring my invitation and coming, sit down for almost 1 hour to have this conversation. I know by now most of you guys have been able to understand what exactly happened, and I believe sasa hakutakuanga na ile ya mwalimu nini. Sasa kila mtu hata sailors nitawatafuta wote pamoja. But I don't know why sijaiwaleta nyi wote pamoja. I should. Tawatafuta wakuje pia wapige story hapa na mimi tusikie what is their plan, what is pulling them back, why are they not giving us music. Yeah. Anyway, Mwalimu, I'd like you to talk to your fans who have always held you down despite maybe that period and you're going to go through a lot of online bullying and everything. Kuna wale wanakutetea, those who believed in you. What would you tell them?
Man, what can I say? Yani, thank you. Thank you. And I pray that the same kindness that you've shown me, somebody else will show you that same kindness when you're in need of that kindness. The world is full of people who are hurting, and the only way they feel good about themselves is by hurting others online, by being bullies online. And I saw that firsthand. And sometimes I was very even sad for those people who are showing me so much hate without understanding the process, without understanding what I was going through, without understanding the story. Wengine hata walikuwa wanasema, we manager wa ethics wewe. I'm like, I never managed ethics. Ethics yawa. Sasa tumekuja kwa ethics tena. Unaona? But to you who has been with me, big shout out to Tribe MRX, a group of young people. I always mentor them, by the way, every Sunday through WhatsApp, and we chat about many of the things that they're going through. I say thank you. To even my employer, who did not give in to a lot of the hate that was online, people demanding me to be fired and doing any. Thank you. To, of course, my family, man. I mean, my parents being my support system, my siblings, man. Yani nawapenda tu sana. And even to my son, who was seeing everything that was happening. As in, alikuwa naona, sometimes mom will go down, what's the problem? And I'm very open with him. And I'd say, this is what is happening. He knew about sailors. He knew about all these guys. He had met them. Yeah. So when suddenly anaona hawako, kwani what happened? I had to explain it to them. I was like, Mommy, don't worry. It's okay. Don't give up. You're strong, and I still love you, and I believe in you. So those words really encouraged me to keep going, even when I was really struggling emotionally, mentally. It was a strain. So thank you so much. Yani amjui a positive message. Yani unaweza kuwa ni messages nyingi hapo ni negative. Alafu tu moja ama mbili zinakuja zile za positive. Inanijaza nguvu yani. Nasema kudos. Asanteni sana. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And guys, I've seen Mwalimu does something on her YouTube channel. I'll pin down the link. You go and check out the episodes. Nimekuwa kiona anafanya pale. You're going to love them. And also make sure you check out on her social media handles. And also share this interview. Like it. Subscribe to my channel. We meet in the next one.